Some chord changes have a stronger emotional feel or even a nostalgic effect. But we can actually break down what's going on in the key so we can tap into that emotional quality on purpose in our own playing. So we're going to look at the C major scale to know where the notes live in a key and why certain chords sound normal and others have a stronger emotional effect. If you download the worksheet here, it makes it much easier to follow along. Knowing the major scale unlocks the chords in that key, but we also want to know which triads are not in that key because those are the special ones. Here's the notes to the C major scale. But let's make an alternative ending by flatting the 6th and 7th notes. That means shifting the 6 and the 7 to the immediate left to make it epic. Making a variation of the major scale means you're using one or more of the 5 notes that are not included in the scale. That in itself changes the mood of your melody. But we want to apply this to making triads or chords. So I'll show you how to walk up the scale with triads in the key. We're in the key of C, so we'll space out the white keys evenly and step up the keyboard using our 1st, 3rd, and 5th finger. These are the triads in the key of C. They might feel like they're the same shape because they're all white keys, but there's differences between them that make the chord qualities either major or minor. Numbers 2, 3, and 6 are minor chords. That's because the spacing between the first and the middle note is a key smaller than what the major chords look like. So what happens when you change the minor chord to a major by raising that middle key? Now our chords are including those special notes that have that emotional pull. The same works when you turn major chords in the key into a minor. And one exception is the 7th chord, which is not called major or minor, but we don't need that chord for our song examples. When you flip the tonality by changing a major chord to a minor or a minor chord to a major, you unlock chords that are more fun and impactful. So let's use some good examples of these in 3 great tunes. Here's how the chord progressions work. If there's a capped M, that means the chord tonality has been flipped to major. If there's a lowercase m, the tonality has been flipped to minor. Plain numbers are the default chord in the key. Basically, since we're in the key of C, if there's a black key in the chord, it's a flipped tonality. I'm going to start with Space Oddity and show you what it sounds like if I didn't flip the chords. Now here's the real version. So hopefully you heard that emotional quality. simple bass lines are not hard to memorize. It might just be 4 notes that you play over and over again. And you can add in those special notes to give it that special emotional quality. But the fun part is when you start developing your own style at piano. This is where we make variations and experiment with different ways of playing these notes. Let's look at a few ideas. But what if you don't have sheet music to learn a song that's stuck in your head? You can learn how to find the chords on your own by watching this next video.